We're talking about the trend of teens using TikTok to self-diagnose mental disorders. Now, Dr. Sportelli, you've looked into how much time kids are spending on the app. Tell us what you found out.
Oh yeah, wait till you hear some of these numbers. They're incredible. So get this. Hashtag dissociative identity disorder. 828.9 million views. 828.9 million views.
Whoa!
Wait, ready for
That is
this?
incredible.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Bipolar, hashtag bipolar was 207 million views. But wait a second. This one I had to double check. Hashtag ADHD or ADD, 8.8 billion with a B. I was like, wait a second, are we sure that's not million? It's billion with a B. And if you think about this, 41% of 16 to 24-year-olds are on TikTok. So that's a huge, huge number in that demographic.
Dominic, those numbers are staggering. So explain the process and the importance about getting a proper diagnosis when it comes to mental health.
Let's look at dissociative identity disorder. All right. First of all, incredibly rare, but the bullet points are losing interest, anger outbursts, relationship sabotage, and forming connections and then hating them. Just 4 things, right? So if you read that, you're like, well, all right, maybe I have dissociative identity disorder. But doc, dissociative identity disorder is the disruption of your identity, so much so that you have a discontinuity in your sense of self. Everything changes, your behavior, your consciousness, your memory, your perception, and you completely change personalities. ADHD, let's look at the quick bullets. Quick to anger, intrusive thoughts, never organized, easily distracted, trouble with emotions, problem remembering names. Can we, listen, I must have ADHD. If these are the criteria, I have ADHD. I'm going to self-diagnose. And we have to mention the other 2. Bipolar disorder. Ready? Bullets. Intense anger, connecting quickly but feeling alone, insecure and confident at the same time, memory loss, and a superiority complex. All right. Again, super vague, right? Like I think a lot of people might say, wow, I guess I have bipolar disorder. But stop. Everybody stop. Hold on. Manic symptoms are incredibly intense. And in order to have bipolar disorder, you have to have a significant manic episode that lasts 7 days with grandiosity, with no need for sleep, with pressured speech, with flight of ideas. And this has to happen and really impede your life in a significant way to get a bipolar disorder diagnosis. And the last one that I have to just bring up is autism, right? So get this, 4 bullets. That's it. Just 4 points that say you're easily upset by change. You have difficulty making friends. You have a hard time following instructions and you have specific interests. Okay, Dr. Orden, I have autism. I must have autism. So again, when I mention those specifics to clear it up, I hope that it makes people realize that those 4 bullets are not in any way going to diagnose you with autism.
Thank you for that great discussion. Joining us now, we're going to bring into the conversation 18-year-old Samantha, who recently self-diagnosed her mental health through TikTok. Welcome to the show, Samantha.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about your experience with TikTok, what you thought was going on.
So around the age of 16, I was seeing these videos on my For You page from TikTok after following a bunch of mental health advocacy pages. And all these videos were coming up with, signs, symptoms you may have: borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, dissociative identity disorder. And before all of this, I already have diagnosed depression and anxiety from the age of 10 because of heavy bullying that I was going through in a new school environment. So seeing these videos on my For You page on TikTok made me keep thinking, like, maybe there's something more to my depression and my anxiety. Maybe, I keep seeing these signs and symptoms of borderline personality disorder, and I'm like, that seems very specific to someone like me. And so that's kind of how it all started. That's kind of how the spiral started for me.